gotta figure out how to set my Instagram up too, because I go live on Instagram at the same time now.
Yeah, you could do Instagram. Yo, I think you could do TikTok live now too.
Yeah, I can. I just got to get the following up over there. So I talked about it. I posted it on Instagram and then just sent it over here. Yo,
Yeah,
what's good, everybody? This is a special pop up show. This ain't no regular. We gonna still have our regular show tomorrow night. Still talking the Marvin Bennett Jr. show, talking about black education and what's going on during Black History Month. But we wanted to do a pop up show after this Kendrick Lamar controversy. Everybody has an opinion. Like my coach used to always tell us in high school, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So some people talking about it was whack. Some people were saying it was corny. Some people like it's just way over your head. So I figured like we might as well just go live and talk about it. So I got a couple people coming through, and we're gonna get into this. But I wanted you guys that's watching, as you come on in the room or you coming on the live, let me know which platform it is that you guys are watching on, whether it be Facebook, whether it be the YouTube channel. And if you guys will be so kind, if you're not watching on the YouTube channel, please go to our YouTube channel. It's called The Marvin Bennett Jr. Show, and subscribe and like it, and you'll get alerts when every time we go live. But we're gonna get the conversation started while people coming on in. And, I got my man Tahir Brisbane, one of our regulars. He's been on the show several times before. He's gonna chop it up with us, and I got a young fella representing the youth and what did it mean to him coming on and joining us in a little while. My man Prince Williams. So with that being said, we're gonna get started while you guys come on in. Um, so yeah, what's good, Ty?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Man, it's another day, man. You know how it is. Just blessed to be alive, taking things one day at a time. You know, you woke up this morning to the timeline going crazy. And before we even get into all the controversy, you know what I'm saying, or the I won't even say controversy, but just people take on the performance in the show. Let me go ahead and be the first to tell you congratulations. One of my diehard Eagle fans.
You already know.
You know what I mean? But I'm not I hate on sports just out of from a fun perspective, but I also have no problem with people giving people their flowers when they deserve them. You know, you guys had a great season, so hats off to you all guys. I'm super excited, even though I'm a Giant fan. I'm super excited that Saquon went over there his first year
Went
and
over
won a
there.
Super Bowl with the team that we should have never gave him to. Oh my God. The first year, and he won it on the Super Bowl, which made it a little bit even more special. You know what I mean? Because yesterday was actually his actual Super Bowl. He turned 26 yesterday. His jersey,
Yeah,
so it was just a good day for the Saquon all the way around. But
most stuff.
so go ahead and talk. You know, you can talk. I'll give you the floor first. You can talk your talk because you know, like I said, you're a diehard Eagle fan. You're a day oneer.
Who you talking, the young boy or me?
Nah, you
Oh man, look,
ain't too
I
many of y'all Eagle fans, man. Come on, man. You know I'm talking to you.
I don't know because we look we took over New Orleans though, you know. So like I'm Philly born and bred, so I'm everything fan of Philadelphia, whether it be the Eagles, the Sixers, the Phillies.
All
I
right.
don't really know nothing about no hockey, but I'm down with the Flyers too, you know. Like, but the Eagles are special in the way of they're one of the teams that actually try to get to the Super Bowl and make moves to position themselves to be in contention. And I just love it, you know, because of all the struggles we had, you know, in the days. So I go way back, Randall Cunningham, you know,
Yeah.
and Randall Cunningham drafted as the ultimate weapon, and you know, Reggie White and Buddy Ball, and we didn't get a ring during that era.
Don't forget about rest in peace, Jerome.
Oh, you know, I got a Jerome Brown jersey on the way right now. I found one on the deal. I got one on the way.
All right.
Yeah. So, but most definitely. So, you know, I love how the team and the organization reps for not just the current players, but also the past players as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, thank you very much to the New York Giants for gifting us Saquon Barkley
Idiots.
because he was what we needed to get us over the hump. You know,
Straight football wise, I've been saying that for the last 2 years too, since the last time y'all went to the Super Bowl. Like
Yes,
at the end of the day, just being a football fan or analyst without being hateful, it's like only thing Philly was really missing to me was the run game, a solidified
exactly,
running game, and that's
exactly.
exactly what he gave y'all guys, man.
Home run hitter. He's a home run hitter. Because we
Absolutely,
had an okay running game before,
yeah, but
but
it wasn't this.
yeah, it was not home run hitting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Saquon and he's such a good dude as well.
Yeah, he
Like
is.
when you look at the videos and everything about him, from the Penn State to the high school days, he was homeless and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He was homeless, a homeless kid in New York, and his family moved out to Pennsylvania. But he was homeless for a period of time as a kid in New York City. So that's why he has such an affection to the New York Giants. And
Mm-hmm.
truly, most likely would have stayed there had they gave him respect. But not just Saquon, but also Jalen's story, uh, uh, Jalen Carter's story. Dropping in the draft, being such
Yeah,
a defensive force.
I
Like
talked about that yesterday before the game too.
yeah, the team giving him an opportunity. So yeah, and then I was so happy that we got the opportunity to play Kansas City because we let them get off a couple years ago. You know, like then when they beat us a couple years ago, it, if we would have went for the touchdown in that first half opposed to kicking that field goal, the trajectory of the game would have been different. Like I felt as though we gifted that to them. So no doubt, no doubt. But yeah, I wanted to get into what your subject bringing up Kendrick Lamar. So
Yeah, we gonna get
let
in
me
there.
ask
Let me
let me
introduce
ask you a
Prince real
question.
quick. Hold up, let me introduce Prince real quick. Got
Okay.
the young fella on. This dude, man, he been bugging me about getting on the show for a while now, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get you on. I'm gonna get you on. I figured I'll pop up and let him come on tonight, talk about this here. Um, especially, how old are you, Prince? You what, 23,
20,
24?
24, 24.
Yeah. So
All
I
right.
always like to have that different age to see what their different perspective is and what they take is. Just yeah, because we all don't think alike. And I think every age group needs to be kind of represented, so to speak. So I wanted to introduce
Facts.
you, Prince. Yo, you wanted to say what's up to the people?
Yo, what's up? My name is Prince or PJ. It don't matter, whichever one. This is my guy Marvin. You know what I'm saying? We go back about what, 2 years now, 2, 3 years
Yeah,
now, or whatever the
yeah.
case is. Yeah, bro. I appreciate you for having me on. I don't know. I think his name is Ty.
Tahi.
Tahi, nice to meet you, bro.
Hey,
Prince.
good to meet you. Good to meet you too.
So for sure. So yeah, like I mean, I don't know the exact topic. I think you did say you want to talk about the halftime show. We could get into that. Yeah, I'm gonna let you start off with your strong opinions though, because I know I got my opinions, and I'm gonna, you know, what I'm saying, I want to wait to see, test
No
the
doubt.
water, see what everybody else thinking.
What you was about to ask me, Ty?
Well, I was going to ask you exactly what he just said. What was your feelings and thoughts as you watched? Were you bored? Were you like, what is he saying? Or were you in tune to the message he was relaying?
Nah. First of all, I'm all the way with Kendrick. I would never go as far as to say I'm diehard Kendrick fan, but I've always respected Kendrick, the different things that I heard of him, because and I was going back and forth on a post earlier. One of my friends there from Jersey, he was talking about how he never liked Kendrick because Kendrick is like the king of mumble rap. You can't understand what he's saying and different things of that nature there. And I remember being one of those cats too. You gotta realize we grew up with Naughty by Nature. We grew up with Red Man. We grew up with the Fugees. Like we all know
Clarence.
mad hip hop people. You know what I mean? The artifacts, different things
Yes.
like that. And where I began to look at rap different was one. I'll never forget when my boy Rodney, that's in the comments, what's good, Rod? When Rod went away to college and he came home one year for the first time he came home, he was like, "Look, man, don't be tripping on my music, man, but I got the tape I want you to hit, man." And this mug put in a UGK tape. And I'm like, yo, man, you don't went down south, you went to college, you already got country and this and that there.
uh,
And I really wasn't at a place where I could hear exactly what they were saying. So he was trying to introduce me to Pimp C and Bun B at that time. This like early 90s. But I wasn't ready to process that because I'm so caught up into what we used to. But then when I moved to Little Rock, Arkansas, and I had no choice to kind of hear different people from Memphis. That's only 2 hours away. You know what I mean? Different things like that. Did
Huh.
I can't even tag him from this ride, but Troy definitely need to be on here. Not the best. The last few and a half times halftime shows much better. All right, that's what's good, Matt. Um, but like I said, when I went to Little Rock and I heard rap from through a different lens, so to speak, and it's like, you know what? The same way Red was talking about catching the 31 to the A train, talking about going uptown to get some smoke. They talking about the same thing. They just got country accents, but they really talking about their experiences. But until I left Jersey and seeing that, is everybody's different. So that's how you get the Scarfaces. That's how you get the Ghetto Boys and NWAs. They talking about Cali like. So when I started looking at it from, I stopped being so close and being more objective in my hip hop, I was able to try more artists out that was outside of New York, outside of Jersey. And Kendrick, for me, he's like the epitome of double entendres, sometimes Kubla entendres. Like it's never what he's saying something. Don't get it twisted. But at the same time, he's saying so much more that it's all everything with him has a double meaning, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I was looking forward to because I know that he's used to dropping Easter eggs. If you're not familiar with Kendrick, you don't know that about Kendrick. But I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, first of all, think about this. Put this in context. For people that say he can't rap and he's trash, this dude won a Pulitzer Prize as a hip hop artist.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? We're not talking
Crazy.
about that. Like,
That's
we don't
crazy.
just give those out.
Ah,
And I don't know any other hip hop artist that has a Pulitzer Prize. You know what I'm saying? So that's first and foremost. But then, like I said, when it was, I went back and watched it. I probably in the last 24 hours, I probably watched the halftime show. It ain't even been 24 hours, but I don't probably watch it at least a good 30 times. And every time I'm
Wow.
finding something different. Every time I'm finding something different, right? There's so many different layers to it, and people were kind of getting into well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. But yeah, I was definitely excited. I was definitely not disappointed. Me personally, everybody,
Mhm.
according to the comments and things that I seen on social media, they wouldn't agree, but I definitely got it in my top 5 all-time halftime performances. You know what I mean? Like, of course, MJ gonna be number one. And for me personally, I could never forget Prince playing Purple Rain in the Rain. Like, that was absolutely classic. But I can't think of anything else in between that I would put above that. It got to be 3, so it's definitely in my top 5.
Absolutely. Uh, I would say I definitely agree. That's a hot take, but while we was watching, me and my brothers, we had a little gathering with a couple of dudes from our church. We went to my brother's house, and the first thing that I seen that jumped off for me was the visuals, because I'm more so of a creative and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I'm looking at the visuals, I'm like, damn, like this is very, very unique and very tough visuals. Like I love the visuals. I would agree. I would say like, and I'm not a Kendrick fan. Like even though I'm, Gen Z, whatever the case is, I'm definitely not a Kendrick fan. Like I always said J. Cole over him, like in terms of like them two, in terms of things like that. I'm not a Kendrick fan at all. So even and so I could agree with a lot of people, like partly because of the reason for that is I don't really know what he's saying like all
Mm-hmm.
the time. So it's just like he does have like a different level of mumble rap, but I guess how he raps is very the meanings are important, and like you said, like the double entendres and things like that. I don't catch everything. I caught some from the halftime show that was really hard and things like that. But overall, I said the exact same thing live and based like and you can just judge it based off of the visuals, I would say one, and then just the vibe and the theme. I definitely said like that's definitely a top 5 halftime performance show. Now if you go on the internet, they gonna be saying, "Oh no, his mic was too low. Oh, no, that was kind of trash. They should have Lil Wayne out there." Like, nah, like at the end of the day, and I seen the clip, and with everybody who want to say, "Oh, they should have had Wayne out there in New Orleans," like I get all of that. I get all of that. but I seen a clip of Lil Wayne performing at WrestleMania last year, and I'm gonna just say it was bad. It was bad. It was bad, bad. And so it's just like I think the NFL did their thing this year with Kendrick. That was definitely to me top five halftime performance all time in my short, or not my short years, but like from when I can conceptualize what a halftime show was. It was definitely great. Visuals was awesome. Not like us. Serena Crip walking. That's we got to talk about that.
No, yeah, we gonna get into all of that.
Yeah, cause
Hey, Ty,
like
before you answer your own question,
yeah,
though, let me ask you something real quick, Prince. You said you
yeah,
real visual, and me and you talked about that on a personal level before. So I
yeah.
already know you got it. But what would you say was the first visual that you noticed?
I would say the color coding with the dancers or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. At first, it was only them in red, and my brothers like we were thinking like, dang, why they always in red? Why they only in red? And then as it begins to unfold, you see them in that blue and the white, and it's representing America and things like that. And then just the shining lights in the stage, how it was like the neutral colors, it just set it off for me because it really put it in a position to where it's like the whole theme of it is talking about America. Like a lot of other performances and halftime shows, they would have a certain color or a lot of colors, this, that, and the third, but went with the light brights, red, white, and blue, and that was it. And that was really like it was really super cool to me.
All right, and I'm gonna get. Reason I asked you that is because it's one that everybody I talked to, they did not. They absolutely didn't catch it, and I'm gonna
Hmm.
bring it out. But first, tell me your take on answer your own question, Ty. What was your
Uh,
question?
yeah. So actually, the first thing that hit me where I knew it was different, Samuel Jackson.
Mm,
Samuel Jackson always throws subliminals in there. Always likes to be in the mix, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, hold up, Samuel Jackson, and he is playing Uncle Sam.
mm,
Let me
mm-hmm,
pay attention to this,
Mm-hmm.
right?
mm-hmm,
So, I'm right there with y'all. I'm not really a big Kendrick fan either. And for the same reasoning. As far as clarity, I can't rap what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying sometimes, in that same context, right?
mm-hmm.
I feel the same way about the mumble rap and everything. But I gotta admit, this kid was extremely brave and conscious to do what he did on that stage.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of another artist who had the cojones to actually go out there and buck the system
Yeah.
with what is he 47 now? What is that guy? He's the 47th
Yeah.
president. With
Mm,
that guy being in attendance and everything like that, telling you how America's being divided. I thought with the red, white, and blue,
We're gonna
and
get
how
into
they
that. Absolutely.
they formed it in different shapes and into the flag, and how he stood in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Is here we are, the people in the middle of all this chaos,
Mm-hmm.
and having to endure it because we don't have any choice
Mm-hmm.
to endure what is being imposed upon us.
Mm-hmm.
I I gotta give him another level of respect, credit, Kendrick Lamar and his team
Mm-hmm.
for putting that together, because with all of the other, I would say, hip hop artists, in my opinion, selling out nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
to have one stay true to us as black people, but not just as black people, as Americans
Mm-hmm.
and as people. Yo, big props to him for doing that. It's a lot of breakdowns on social media on exactly what he was saying, the
Mm-hmm.
symbolism of it. And like I said, it's just maybe similar to that what's that dude This Is America, Glover.
Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Child Gambino, Glover.
I feel as though it's a very similar visual aspect of it where you have to break it down
Mm-hmm.
to understand exactly. I had to watch a couple breakdown videos of it because it was so much that I missed.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's really rooting or showing us the problems that we have currently in America. And we are a really divided country at this time, and it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that he said the revolution is now being televised.
Mm-hmm. You just
He
picked the
told
wrong guy.
because he said it right there what he's
Yeah,
doing,
exactly.
and it was outstanding, man. It's not going to get the credit that it deserves, but revolutions never do.
Mm-hmm. All right, and this is what it is to me, because like I said, and Ty did the same thing. I just try to stay away from the different takes because I wanted to formulate my own thoughts and be like, instead of co-signing and whatnot, especially knowing that I wanted to do the show. So I didn't watch a lot of other people's takes on it. So let's be clear. I don't have no inside information. These are all just our opinions and different things of that nature there. Right. But the first thing that I noticed, we was watching the live at the little party I was at, and it was a kid there. And as they was walking by the TV screen, when they first went to halftime, they came back, and they breaking down the first half. It was like, yo, why is it a car on the field? So I had to break that down to them, right? I said, listen, I had to break that down to them. That's the car that's on the album cover. So I already know he's going to do They Not Like Us. That's the car from the Monte Carlo from the actual album cover. But then when they come back and they start the show, the lights go out. You see it go dark. Then you see Samuel L. Jackson, to your point, another double entendre. Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam, which represents the government. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
People caught the end where it said game over. But if you go back and watch it, right? Soon as they cut away from Uncle Samuel L. Jackson, and what is his words? Welcome to the greatest game in America. How often do I talk about this? Politics, in my opinion, is nothing but a game. It's not reality. You know what I'm saying? So that right there was another hidden message on top of that. So then you take after you, like I said, as soon as he said welcome to the greatest game in America, you start to hear Kendrick's voice, but right before they actually show Kendrick, go back and look again because they show it so quick. The letters, they had the lights in the audience spelling game starts here. With an arrow next to it. That's where Kendrick was like literally underneath the arrow. Mm-hmm. So he's letting you know he's going to be the play, and I'm about to play this game. That since y'all want to play games, I'm going to play this game with you. But I'm going to play this game my way. And it might not be by the rules that you want me to play it by. You know what I mean? Like, because I think Rod had asked me a couple weeks ago when I was like, after he won the Grammys, matter of fact, I was like, oh, he definitely going to do like They Not Like Us. And Rod was asking me, well, why would I think that he was doing it? I was like, I definitely thought he was going to do it. But at the same time, that same week, they not has nothing to do with the Drake lawsuit. The NFL has sent him a letter. So did Jay-Z people, Rock Nation, asking him not to do that song. You know what I mean? They was like, we're not going to try to tell you that you can't do it, but we're going to ask that you don't do that song because you just think that it's a bad look for the NFL. I guess Kendrick said, I'll take it into consideration, but I'm going to do the song, respectfully. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like I said, when I noticed the game start over, and then as it shift from him, if you look, the lights then went from that to what? The circle, the square, the triangle, and the X button, which symbolized again that we playing a game, because it was formed in the shape of the PS5 controller.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, if you go back and watch it, it got the triangle, the square, and the X button along with. So it was forming like a That's cool. It hurt to watch. You ain't got to watch it. That's an easy solve right there. So anyway, yeah. So you got the controller. So again, just reiterating that we playing a game. You know what I mean? Then he breaks down into the song, and like you said, to your point, Ty, when he comes with the revolution will be televised, but this time you picked the wrong guy. That was either double. That was doubling down even more. That I'm gonna poke my chest out. You know what I mean? And so many people they missing it because they looking at it from a rap standpoint. I don't get what he's saying. Like, that's the beautiful thing. Hey, what's good, Tom? That's the beautiful thing about rap to me. And I watched him in an interview earlier this week because Kendrick don't do a lot of interviews, and he was just talking about how he was getting prepared. He went running 2 miles a day to prepare for the halftime show, what have you. And he was literally saying how one reason he don't like to do interviews is because people always call him a rap artist. I mean, a rapper. And he's like, yo, y'all don't understand. This is a culture. Hip hop is not just rap. Like, is another art form. And that's the one thing that I would say before I give it back to y'all. Like, that was really bothering me reading everybody's different take on it. Oh my God, it was so boring. It was whack. It was corny. It was this and that there. Like, just because something goes over your head and you don't understand it does not make it whack. You know what I mean? If they did a country set, which I don't really listen to country music like that, I would never say that it was trash or garbage. I got the right to turn my TV and watch something else until they come back to the game. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say that it's trash or garbage, and I'm not paying attention to what it is because I'm not into it. You know what I mean? Like, when I think about things like that, I always talk about the scene in the Biggie movie because I remember before the movie even came out. But the whole incident with him and E40, when Big was in Canada, and the interviewer asked Big, he's like, what you think about the rapper E40? And Big said, I don't think nothing about him. I don't listen to his music. E40 took that as a diss, but Big was like, you know how it is where we from, Ty. I'm not saying that you trash or garbage. I'm just saying I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard you talk about your basketball game, Prince, but I would never say you trash. And I would never say you good. I ain't never saying you play. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like you got to put that into perspective sometimes. Like, don't speak on what you don't understand. You know what I mean? That's the way I was looking at it. Tom said his performance went over the head. That's my whole point. Yeah. So just because it wasn't for you don't mean that it wasn't legit.
Yeah.
Everybody that goes to a church service don't get the message of the word. They don't get what the preacher was talking about all the time. Or they might not feel like it was for them or it applied to them. Does that mean that was a bad sermon? No.
Exactly. Exactly. I feel like one thing that was an underlying issue to it as well was, again, and I mentioned it earlier, is everybody wanted Wayne to perform. So it's like, because Kendrick came on, he performed, and it kind of went over our heads, and some people couldn't understand what he was saying. It's like that just added fuel to the fire of why they said, oh man, this is why Wayne should have been there anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of the fact that is a lot of people are Drake stands and fans. Like, at my brother's house, my other brother, let's turn this off, bro. Let's turn this off. Why? Oh, cause Drake. It's like, yo, like, this isn't like, you gotta be able to look at things for, what it is and the creative aspect, and what I'm saying, just appreciate what you see. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you like this artist or that artist doesn't mean that I can't appreciate this artist's creativity and his music and things like that. And then, yeah, like I said, the Lil Wayne thing, I don't know. That stuff it's played out. People like, oh yeah, no, Wayne, because you go Instagram, look at all the comments that's done third, and Lil Wayne would have had Nola rocking. He would have had Nola rocking. And it's just like, I don't know, man. For me, like I said, to me, it's already in my top 5. I liked it. And that's gonna be included in my thoughts with it.
Yo, what's good, Michael Georges? My man Michael George said K Dot went off. Ross said, so glad he didn't dumb me down for the masses. Thomas said his performance went over the heads. El Maestro, what's good, El Maestro? El Maestro said it wasn't meant for them anyway, it was for us, and I understood. Ross said, rumor has it that pyro and fireworks was canceled because the president was in the building. I bet that would have added even more to the show. I bet that would have too. Absolutely. And that to me, that was even more gangster. First of all, this is the first time a sitting president was actually at the Super Bowl. Like, he don't have more important things to be worried about.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's first and foremost. But then along with the thing, for Kendrick to know that he's in the building and still be so defiant. I loved it. I loved it.
Right. Definitely.
It was genius.
The halftime show was better. Actually, that wasn't Snoop halftime show. That was Dr. Dre. Snoop was just a part of it. And K Dot
Yeah,
was a part of that one as well.
I saw Snoop apologize to Kendrick. I didn't look at it yet, but I seen something came up. Snoop apologizing to Kendrick, most likely about all of this. Like everybody talking about this Little Wayne stuff.
Mm.
Little Wayne is a Bama, straight up. He he didn't he vote for this dude
Trump.
47? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he did.
yeah.
Yeah, so hey, look, let's not give him. I ain't saying his name, so he's just gonna be 47 to me.
Uh,
I
uh,
ain't giving that fool no power. You heard?
uh,
Like, man, the theme of it, and I'm not sure who exactly suggested or hired Kendrick to be in it, but I would think that they possibly knew what they were going to get by inviting him to do the halftime show.
No, they absolutely did it. And to answer that question for you is Jay Z. Jay Z is over the halftime shows with his Rock Nation joint. Jay
Okay,
Z picked the halftime show. So let me address that real quick too,
yeah,
because
address that. Yeah, because I
first
didn't know
of
that.
all, first of all, everybody that's talking about Lil Wayne, and I get that because that's your fan, they fans, and that's just your perspective. If you want to see Lil Wayne, I get it.
that's
I
what I
don't want
think.
to see no Lil Wayne.
I don't
Now
want
I,
to see him
I
either.
think Lil Wayne will give you a good show, yeah. But from a business aspect, you got to think about it like this. First of all, just because the Super Bowl is in your hometown, don't mean you get to perform the halftime show. Let's clear that up right now, right then and there. Because the first Dr. J was the first person to ever really do that when they did it a couple years ago. When they had to, you know what I mean? That's the
Mhm,
only time that's ever really been done. So don't act like this is the way it's always been. That's first and foremost. Then
mhm.
from a business standpoint, the majority of the people that go to the Super Bowl are not people of New Orleans.
Yeah,
Exactly.
These are people from all over the country, people with money.
Philly was in there deep.
They will, yeah. They might not even know no Lil Wayne song. They might have heard of him before, know that, but they don't know Wayne catalog like they do K Dot. Just like I remember years ago going to a Wu-Tang concert. It tripped me out that I seen more white people at the Wu-Tang concert than us.
Uh,
So they be listening to certain artists. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Are they listening to Wayne? I don't know. I'm not saying that you're not, but I don't know. El Maestro said, yeah, Jay-Z, yeah. Well, Trump did part in Wayne, so that's a sticky situation. There you go, right there. That's even more fuel to the fire. So Jay-Z, I think Jay-Z was looking at it from a standpoint like I ain't even trying to deal with those type of questions right now. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? I don't
Yeah.
want that kind of smoke. Right now, Kendrick had to have the year of all years. He
mhm.
just won. Well, it ain't had nothing to do with that, but he had the year of all years. Then for him to come and win 5 Grammys the week before the Super Bowl, it just added even more to the anticipation of waiting to see what he was going to do.
Absolutely. Uh, that I want to comment on that really quick. I don't know if that was the best move for him at the Grammys at the time because I was seeing something, a lot of people, and something I was thinking as well is he won 5 Grammys that night, and I think like 3 or 4 of them, majority of them were off of the "They Not Like Us" song.
Mm-hmm.
And for obviously that's a diss song to Drake. So it's like for you to win majority of your Grammys and all of your Grammys off of a diss song to someone else is kind of like I don't know if he would still take that same honor of okay, I won a Grammy because of this, this, and this, and all of the hard work and dedication that I put in my career, or does this Grammy have some type of tie to this other big player? And that's another thing as well too with people, and like you talked about earlier, Marvin. I guess you said that someone came to Kendrick and said, you probably shouldn't do the "They
Yeah,
Not Like
let's
That"
go.
song. And that as well. And the thing is, with that song, even though that song is a diss song to Drake, that song is bigger than like what's just Drake and Kendrick. Like in the
Mm-hmm.
song, he's actually talking about like the higher, like they not like us. He talking about everybody outside
Mm-hmm.
of the black race. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're not like us. And he is basically saying that Drake is an imposter who's using um his platform and his heights to feed and benefit himself off of the Quavo, the Migos, the Lil Wayne, like he put in a song and things like that. So it's like, um, I could get why people would, kind of be, up in the uproar about the song and things like that. But I, at the end of the day, I think it was just a great overall. The show was just great. Like,
Well, here you go with that, right?
mhm,
El Maestro said, "I'm sorry, but for those fans aren't really one because they should know that Wayne couldn't do the halftime show as of now. He needs to get healthy first."
exactly,
And that was another thing that I was talking about when it came to Wayne. We don't know which Wayne is going to show up. You know what I mean?
exactly,
I would like to think that he would be professional enough to be together for the Super Bowl halftime show, but we don't know. You know what I mean?
exactly.
We really don't know. But to play devil's advocate of what you just said, Prince,
Uh-huh.
it's
Uh-huh.
like it's just like this. I get what they saying as far as it should have been kind of got overhyped because it was a diss record. But
Yeah.
if that was the case, then he would have just, I would imagine he would have just won maybe 2, not 5. Most
Right.
people that have that opinion haven't actually listened to the whole body of work. Like
Hmm.
the whole album is like crazy. It's just that they not like Gus went to a different plateau.
Hmm.
But he actually has content and different saying different messages throughout the whole album, from domestic
Hmm.
violence to cheating on his girl, infidelity,
Hmm.
fatherhood, all these
That's
different
true.
things. So he covers so much on that record. But if you don't really listen to the album, you don't have anything really to judge it based off of just this anthem, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I think they said like what 2 or 3 of those were strictly like best new song or
Mhm.
number one, something like that. So
Because the
yeah,
numbers went crazy.
absolutely.
I never
I
forget
get it.
when it dropped. Like literally, he dropped it.
Hmm.
Kendrick had just dropped one earlier that day,
Yeah. It was a back
and,
to back.
and he dropped his. It was a Saturday. I remember it was a Saturday. He dropped it about 7 o'clock Eastern time. Right? Check this out. When I went back on live Instagram about maybe midnight, 12:30 that same night, they were showing this. Somebody went live in this club in LA, and the whole club was singing the song already.
Yeah.
That same night.
Yeah.
No song has ever did that before, bruh. Whether it's a diss track or not, like it went crazy and put up crazy numbers.
For real though.
Rod
He's
Nah.
a
said what
talent.
happened
He's a
in
talent.
2002 and 2013. Why Wayne wasn't crying about those Super Bowls in New Orleans? what was hot? What was hot both those years? Exactly. Exactly. This wasn't the first Super Bowl that they had in New Orleans. Wasn't nobody talking about Wayne should have did the other halftime shows. You know what I'm saying? So that argument don't really hold up to me. You know what I mean? I think we just live in an era and age where everybody has a phone, everybody has a computer, and everybody has an opinion. You know what I mean? And we quick to just put it all out there. But
Yep.
just because it was in New Orleans, why you ain't want Master P there? You know what I'm saying? A businessman that came up hot. You know the cat. You know that whole movement that P had no limit. He couldn't get right. Wasn't nobody fighting for Master P to do no halftime show. Master P got hits. So, it's just an argument that people could have different opinions on and go back and forth on. But one of the other things that really tripped me out was okay, so even back to the symbolism. Like I read a lot of different things today where people were talking about the chain. You know what I mean? I seen one person like,
Yeah.
yeah, is he gonna pop the chain because it represents the chain and this and that there. It could have been that too. But my personal takeaway from it was I noticed that it was blinged out and it was a lowercase a, right? Which that has so many. It's like that's a double in times of two because it's their symbol, but it's also a representative of the hottest line in the whole song. A minor is a minor.
Mhm.
Instead of being a capital letter, is a minor. It's lowercase.
Yeah.
So even that's a shot in a subliminal. And I'm glad Rod in here too, because Rod was saying like he didn't he didn't need SZA. And I was like, I disagree. Because one, well, first of all, I don't think nobody needs anybody when it comes to doing a halftime show. That's first and foremost. But SZA, again, if you're not really into that like that, SZA is like his little sister. You know what I mean? He kind of got her on the TDE when he was still with that label. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So he always looking at her like a little sister. And the song that they got together, it is a banger. The females actually like it. The dudes actually like it. And Rod was saying, like, he should be promoting the tour. Well, guess what? She's going to be on the upcoming tour with him. Mm-hmm. Now, the last caveat on that is we know that Drake went with Serena, and we're going to get into that too. But he also had a relationship with SZA. So I got two of your exes up here on stage with me. It's another subliminal shot. They over here with me because they not like us.
I thought the lowercase a was for Aubrey too, his real name.
I have thought about that too, but I was like,
it's just a thought. Yeah, though I don't think he's that like.
I ain't gonna put no cat because everybody's supposed to start a name, a proper name with a capital letter.
Yeah,
that could have been another shot too. We don't know.
Yeah,
that's the whole point. Kendrick is so subliminal that he just thinks different. He just thinks different. And that's the thing that I really love about it or appreciated about the whole halftime show overall is like I'm a big fan. First of all, I'm always a big fan of the rebels, like people that's willing to fuck the system. You know what I mean? Because you got so many people that's willing to go along to get along. Well, I got to make this money. I got to do this and I got to do that. I got to protect the brand and I got to do this and that. I like it when people say, you know what? I'm throwing caution to the wind and I'm going to stand on principle and what I feel is right and my integrity and let the chips fall where they may. I'm always going to be a fan of artists being artists because some people don't like Mozart. Some people don't like Bach. But they're still considered, some people don't like Amadeus. Like, those are great works of art. Art is not just limited to painting and music, you know what I mean? Or that particular genre because you don't want to acknowledge hip-hop as part of it's still an art form to his point, which he always says. Like, stop calling me a rapper. I'm an artist.
That's 100.
Yeah, so what was some of y'all other takeaways as far as visuals?
I think you brought up the Serena thing quickly. I kind of want to touch on that. I think it was a weird move on her part. Obviously, her and Drake had history, whatever the case is, and then she's up there. Don't get me wrong, she's from California.
Mm-hmm. She's from the same city,
Compton.
Yeah.
She was crip walking to Kendrick Lamar's "They Not Like Us," which is a diss shot at Drake. My first thing is like, you're married, so it's just like, even though it's just like her and Kendrick could have a close relationship, this, that, and the third, on the side, but it's just like to kind of feel what they got going on, knowing the song that you're dancing to while you're married is kind of weird. Even though Drake does take petty shots at her and her husband or whatever the case is, but it's just like I felt like that was petty. Two, and I've seen other people talk about it, I wasn't really familiar with the story, but I guess one of her siblings actually got shot.
Yeah.
By
Yadana, rest in peace, Yadana's Price. That was her sister's name.
Her sister got shot.
Gang violence.
Due to gang violence.
Yeah.
Due to gang violence. So it's just like you crip walking on the biggest stage in America to, you know what I'm saying, knowing the history of what Bloods and Crips, whatever the cases may mean, on that type of stage, doing that, like, while one of your family members was unalive due to gang violence, it's not a good look. Like, it's not a good look at all for me. It's kind of, it was, I ain't sit right with me, but it's just like to each his own. You feel me? Like, that's just
I kind of got it from the aspect of, like, again, if you're not front, like Tretch had the best line back in the day, back in the 90s, right? when he said, "If you ain't never been to the ghetto, don't ever come to the ghetto because you ain't got no business in the ghetto. So stay the F out the ghetto." Like people from where we from, we got that. You know what I'm saying? Like because
Yeah.
we so close to it. Gang culture is so active in Compton that it's literally a part of their culture. You got little 5 years old, like Crip walking is almost like they national dance. It's like every time it's just almost like the same. Like when you go to different rap concerts or different shows, you hear somebody say, "Where Brooklyn at?" They take pride in that because that's like a Brooklyn thing. You know what I'm saying? Crip walking is associated with like that. You got people out there that Crip walk that are Bloods. I done seen Bloods Crip walking before. You know what I mean? I done seen people that not in gangs before Crip walking because it's just that cool thing to do. Now, as far as Serena doing that, yeah, that's where I'm going now, right? She actually did the Crip walk when she was in the Olympics before, and she also did it when she won Wimbledon, right? Because I seen her in an interview earlier today where she said, "Oh man, it really felt good to go all the way in on the Crip walk because I couldn't do it like I wanted to at Wimbledon because they would have fined me like crazy."
Yeah, I seen
That's
that.
what her words were. They can't find me at the NFL for Crip walking. Snoop just did it 2 years ago.
Being free.
Even that was a defiant move when Snoop 2 years ago. And I don't think Snoop out of the doghouse, so I ain't gonna talk about him long. But the NFL had asked him make sure he don't have no gang paraphernalia and don't wear no blue bandana. So Snoop said, "Cool. Instead of having the blue flag, I'm gonna make sure my whole suit is the whole outfit that he had on was a bandana, a picture of a bandana representing Crips." You know what I'm saying? So even that was defiant and to that nature. Thomas says she always did that even in her matches. That's what I'm saying. Because like I said, I seen her today when she said she didn't do it like she wanted to when she won Wimbledon because she didn't want to. She was worried about the fine, but now she ain't have to worry about no fine. El Meister said, "I think that she once did it at a tennis court, so she might be comfortable with it." Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just part of their culture. I get what you're saying too. Also, though, Prince, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't just not sit right with you. There's a lot of people that did it, but a lot of us we don't understand that culture. You know, some of us we don't understand what it's like to be from Harlem, so we might not be able to relate to everything that Cam and May say, or you know what I mean, or we can't relate to Philly, so we don't know what Gilly and Wallow talking about, state property, you know, different things of that nature. There, so it's almost like I'm using coding to let y'all know this is still about us. It ain't about them. This is about us, and the ones that need to understand what's being said and what's being done. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. It was a very, very much so a quality production because just like we talking about it right now, there's been so much commentary about it. So I feel as though the objective that Kendrick and his team set out to do has been accomplished because it has a lot of us talking about it.
Thank you. And we're not the only ones. They talking about it on CNN. They talking about it on Fox. They talking about it everywhere. So again, as an artist, mission accomplished. My work is out there for you guys to discuss it, and that's what art is. What do you see when you look at this painting?
Exactly.
What do you hear when you listen to this song? It's not about whether you like it or not. You're hearing it, and that's how you get to say whether you think it's trash or whether you think it's good. But either way, you're talking about my art.
Yeah.
So mission was accomplished when it comes to that. I think he was super strategic. And another thing I wanted to bring out too, like everybody keep talking about his production team. He left TDE, and Kendrick has already started his own thing, PG Lane, which was on the back of it, was on the jacket. So people don't realize you don't get paid for performing at the Super Bowl as an artist, but you best believe Samuel Jackson got paid. The production company got paid, and who was the production company? Kendrick Lamar's. PG Lang is his new company.
That's smart.
So he was involved in the editing. He's involved with all the final cuts for his music videos, from the clothes that he wear to the sighting, what cars is gonna be used. He said like I said, I know this because I watched him in an interview with Ebro earlier this week, and he said, "Oh, I'm a part of everything when it comes to the halftime show, the lighting, with the outfits, I pick everything because it's my name that's associated with it. So he get now that's another box that's checked as a businessman. He's killing the game as a businessman now.
And that fit was hard. That fit was hard. That fit was hard. Like
Even going back to the retro prime times, he had the Dion's on. A lot of
that
people
fit
ain't catch
was
that because they were
hard.
talking about the bell bottoms, but he had the old school primes on.
That fit was hard. Definitely hard.
But the thing I did like about that, you brought it up earlier, Prince. I totally got that, and I thought about it when I watched it over several times because it was kind of loud while I was watching it. But when I look back at like you said, just the visual part of it, I thought it was so dope, and I love the message of how when they got the representing the flags, the colors of the flag, and him standing in the middle with half of it over here and half of it over here because we are the United States. And I made that post being funny earlier today, but I'm like, I was talking about it actually during the election. But to me, it actually baffles me sometimes, or I find it very ironic that we're called the United States, and we're more divided now than we've ever been before, whether we talking about politics, whether we talking about religion, whether we talking about cost, whether we talking about capitalism, is it right or wrong, even to this halftime show. For us to be supposed to be a united front and a United States, we are super duper divided, which I think is very. So I definitely got that message in that too, for him to be standing in the middle of the flag, and then for them to wrap it up at toward the end with him being dead smack in the middle of the flag, still like it like you said, the visual part. It was, oh my God, it was so dope. He said, "Yep, flag divided as people's opinion now." Exactly. So, like I said, I it was so many different messages. And I promise you, it's just like listening to a record, right? To this day, as much as I love Biggie, I can still put a Biggie song on 20 years later and be like, "Yo, that's crazy." All this time I've been singing this song, knew the words, and been singing along. I never got that right there. That's what he was saying. I promise you, the more and more you go back and look at this performance, you're gonna see more and more, and you're gonna hear more and more. Now that was one thing too, and I seen that a lot of comment that you said earlier, Prince, as far as microphones and this here and that there. But again, okay, even if that's true, that has nothing at all to do with Kendrick Lamar.
Exactly.
He's not controlling the microphones. You gotta blame that on the sound people.
Pressing into that a little bit though, in terms of the division part and him standing in the middle while both sides was divided. I mean, so we do live in a democracy or whatever the case is, to where it's like in America, it's for the people by the people is usually how they want things to be ran. I feel like just the basis, that being like the basis of the country, like more majority of people having that type of mentality and mindset in terms of how things should be ran, it's always gonna cause division. Like people are never gonna agree on things. Like, as much as we want, the peace and to be united and things like, but people are simply just never gonna agree on things. And it's because like in history, like there's been certain trigger points and things like that people have gone through that this sect or group of people hasn't necessarily gone through. So it's just like with that, like I can definitely see as to why they would, majority of people would be, you know, more so divided or whatever the case is like that. So it's like it doesn't surprise me when I see like, oh, America is, so divided, this, that, and the third. It's just like majority of people are like that's how they operate in mindset and things like
Yo,
that.
what's good,
So
Keisha? Sam said that's what's
what
good,
I would
Sam.
say about a democracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I said, overall, it was so much to it. And then I thought another one from the visual when you go back and watch it, peep this. Like toward the middle, when he started talking about not too, I think it was right after the revolution will be televised, after he finished that song Squabble Up.
Yeah.
You look in the crowd again, it says going in the wrong direction. Now we already talking about how politics, so Is he talking about this new path that Trump has us on? Is America headed in the wrong direction? Because it says wrong direction in the light with the lights. No, I wrote it down. It says, what did I write down with that? Warning, wrong. That's what it says. It spells out warning, wrong way. And then like a back button. So it's like, hold up, y'all. I'm trying to warn y'all that we headed in the wrong direction. And something that you had sent me, Ty, earlier too, that had me cracking up was two things real quick. What you sent me earlier, Ty, with Samuel Jackson leaning on the wall, the poster, and it say so you didn't like the Super Bowl halftime show. That's okay because we didn't like what you did to the U.S. Capitol building on January 6th. I'm like, damn. Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to think about that. And then my other argument for the second point I wanted to make it for all the people talking about, man, this ain't the place for that there and all that there. This is football. Just play football. Okay. Then if that's the way you really feel, stop showing that damn Taylor Swift every 15 plays. You know what I'm saying? Because she ain't got nothing to do with no football. But y'all ain't talking about the fact that she got the NFL $335 million extra money this season alone, just from her being at the games and them showing her. The NFL made $335 million more just showing Taylor Swift.
That's bananas.
That's crazy, bruh. So you gonna tell me that it still ain't the integrity of sports is not crazy? And I'm gonna say, because I said I wasn't gonna talk about it, but people on here that can confirm it, because I said this before the game even took place. I said, one of my favorite movies, right, Ty? Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I kind of see this being like a Harlem Nights show. And I promise I'm not saying this because Philly won, right? But if you remember the scene when they said when Sugar decided that he gonna go ahead and get up out of there, they're gonna leave Harlem. What did he do? He sent a little fake message to Calhoun, the big boss of the mafia, and said, listen, hey, Jenkins is fighting what's her name. They just put $50,000 on Jenkins. They put $50,000 on the fight. And his response is, yeah, everybody knows Jenkins is going to kick that white boy behind.
Yeah.
And I know. Danny Aiello character says, I know. But they didn't put the money on Jenkins. And what did he automatically do? He assumed, you know what? Them sneaky jokers.
Yep.
We're going to put all our money on Jenkins to win. Because either way, Ray and them, though, they're going to steal all the money. Can you imagine with the way gambling is right now? All these different apps and all the different lines. They had lines on who going to win the coin toss, how many times they going to show Taylor Swift, who going to get the first down, all these different conglomerates. Can you imagine if Kansas City won, how much money they would have had to give out?
A lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
A girl lost 120 grand.
With the integrity of the game as well. Yeah. You got to factor that in.
Absolutely. The
right time, but the wrong guy.
Absolutely.
I thought he was talking about the programming of blacks. And that's a whole nother subtlety too. Because like you said, first of all, programming is just another form of gaming. All games have a program within it. You know what I'm saying? So you get to choose what game you're going to play, or if you're going to play the game at all.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you be going to college, whether you go the military route, whether you know what I'm saying, you take the entrepreneur route, you're still playing the game of life. It's all about which program you're going to subject, or are you just going to do what they tell you to do and what they program you to do, which is to go to school, get an education, learn how to sit still in class because we want you to go work in these factories and make us money. you know what I'm saying?
Slave.
Yeah.
So, and that's one thing I always say too, like when it comes to different things like that there, whether it be racism, whatever the case may be, anything that you could learn, you could also unlearn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I always try to tell people when it comes to politics. Like, just because you believe a thing don't mean that it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you believe that politics is real does not mean that it's true. Just because you believe basketball is the greatest sport, that doesn't make it true.
Exactly.
That's just true for you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you still got to stay objective when it comes to stuff like that too.
Absolutely. So what do y'all think the line is? Because like you said, like you just mentioned, the amount of money that was placed on the games and things like that in the sports books. If KC would have won or whatever the case is, or if they would have scored more points, or if it would have been a low scoring game, what do y'all think the line is to that being drawn in terms of how much effect do you think money and gambling has on the actual game? To where it's just like, okay, maybe coaches are calling this, players are doing this, teams overall are doing this, this, and this. Like, how much of an effect do y'all think gambling has on the actual games, though?
Me personally, you want to go first, Ty?
Uh, I'm gonna tell you like this. A lot of times it has everything to do with it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, I want to hear y'all opinions before I give y'all mine. But yeah, so everything to do. What about you, Marvin?
So you too young, Prince. You wasn't even born yet. To me,
Hmm.
this show called Phil Donahue. Donahue show, number one
I
talk
heard about that though.
in the world. He had a dude from the mafia on there back in the 80s talking about how he fixed NFL games. And I think you can pull it up on TikTok these days too. And the guy asked him, he says, how many, what's the percentages, so to speak, sort of like what you asked us. He said,
Mhm.
oh, I would say easily 70%. And I'm like, just think about all the different documentaries that we done seen over the years, where we done seen players admit to taking money. What was the referee in the NBA that got caught and went to
Mhm.
jail for fixing games? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So this is nothing new. This is nothing new.
At all.
It's just that now y'all playing with us because y'all doing it in our face and y'all making it too obvious.
And they're promoting it.
Yeah.
Uh,
The first commercial that they showed during the Super Bowl was for betting. And was it Kevin Hart? Somebody in the commercial, because I had paid attention to, I can't remember who it was now, but they
mhm.
literally said it. Like the fix is in. That's the way the commercial goes off. So now y'all really playing with us. Y'all
It's
really throwing it in our
crazy.
face at this point.
It's crazy. Um, One similarity that I seen from, and I don't want to take nothing away from the Eagles defense or whatever the case is. That defense is and was playing great all season. But in terms of the Super Bowl, the actual game, one similarity I did see from the last time Mahomes played what he lost the Super Bowl versus Brady,
Mhm.
it was like the same script or whatever the case was. It's like they're rushing for tons of pressure. Mahomes doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know when to step up, when to roll out, whatever the case is. And now he's just throwing things. And it's just like to me it was kind of, because it's like, if you're gonna do that, if that's what we're gonna see, at least we want to see something competitive. But it's just like, if it's the same type of, play call style and this, that, and the third from the last time that he lost, because that's I'm telling you, after the first quarter, first half for sure, I'm like, yo, this looks very similar to when they lost versus Tampa Bay. They just don't look like the same Kansas City team that wants to do this and run the ball here. And Andy Reid is such this offensive savant to where it's like he's calling this, this, and this, and the team is like, no, I'm seeing the same exact thing. Now all of a sudden the Chiefs offensive line don't know how to block. And again, don't get me wrong, that Eagles front four, front seven is serious. But it's just like, come on now. We ain't see the Chiefs have this real offensive line problems in how many weeks, and then you get on the Super Bowl and now they can't block nobody. It's just like, come, like, let's be for real, man. Let's be for real, man. Like, they talking about at the end of the day, Casey checked in the clear.
I'm with
No,
you,
like,
Ty.
let's be for real though. Like, it's just I wasn't rocking with it, but I just wanted a close game. Like, that's all I wanted, was a close game, competitive game. They blew them boys out the water, man.
And that's the point. That's another factor that I didn't even have bring into it. It don't matter what you want. It don't matter what I want. when we
Mhm.
talking about this gambling and the conglomerate that it has become in this country,
Mhm.
look, we don't care about no coast game. We don't care about how it look. But at the end of the
Mhm.
day, all of a sudden, these mugs ain't been able to score all game, and then you able to cover the spread in the last 8 minutes of the game all of a sudden and put points on the board. that
Like, come on,
had
dog.
to play a factor too. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
That
And
dog.
then,
played a
like I
big
said, even when you
factor.
go back to the beginning of the game, the first pass that Travis Kelsey dropped. Come on, man. How often
Yeah.
is Travis Kelsey gonna drop that? Then he dropped the second one, the one that Sammy Watkins dropped. Then not to even mention that first flag.
Yeah. That first
That
flag.
was bogus. Then a
Hey,
couple of plays later, they made another whack call to make up for that one.
after that first flag on AJ Brown that they called, I think what was that the first drive, the very first
Yeah, the
one. I
very
said,
first
"Oh
drive.
yeah, the Eagles gonna win," because it's just like it's reverse psychology almost. It's just like they want everybody in the uproar. Oh yeah, they cheating this,
Mm-hmm.
that, and the
See, they
third,
cheat
and they
exactly. See,
gonna
they cheat.
they ain't
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
make it up to them like throughout the whole game. I was like, oh yeah, the Eagles probably gonna win it because it's like there's no way they're gonna let Kansas City win the game with that call being made and people not really think the NFL is rigged. It's like no. No, I knew the Eagles was gonna win after that first call. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, like you said though, it's a money grab. Like it's a money grab. Like nobody, majority people had Eagles money line or whatever the case is. Maybe won by 5. Nobody thought the Eagles was gonna win by 20, scoring 40 points, 40 some points, and Mahomes them can't do nothing. Vegas won for sure, for sure. I don't like I said though, for me it was like I seen the same script that they told Kansas City. Oh, Mahomes hold the ball, act like you don't know how to play football no more. Don't roll out of the pocket and do this, this, and this. The man start running around and all type of things. Like I'm just like, yo, this 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 not it, dog. This
And
not
it's
it,
funny
dog.
to me. It's always been funny to me since when you go all the way back to Arian Foster. You remember Arian Foster top?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about too.
Like anytime somebody mentions the fact, somebody that's been on the inside and privy to the information, anytime they start talking about the NFL is scripted, they
Mhm.
find a way to disappear,
Yep.
and you never see them no
Mhm.
more.
Nope.
Mhm.
Like
They
Mhm.
they
how is
either
that
got
going?
paid or they was shut up.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's no coincidence though. Anybody that gets
Mhm.
into talking about it being scripted, because I remember him saying it. He said you come in doing OTAs and they give you a whole script. You going
Man.
today? You're gonna get 150 yards. Then the next game you're only gonna get 45 yards. You see in the
Mhm.
NBA they banned old boy Porter brother for
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
gambling inside. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
So
that
Yeah.
was
like me,
little
as much as I
stuff.
used to love sports, I can't even really trust. I still watch from time to time, but I don't love sports like I used to because I don't trust it. The integrity of the game is compromised as
Literally.
far as I'm concerned. The way
Literally.
gambling is.
I was just saying that.
Yeah. I stopped gambling on sports because of that reasoning. Like sometimes the most common sense bets that you just know you're going to win, you
That.
don't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unimaginable that the underdog team won or the team that had the shorter guy won or whatever it may be. The year the Denver Nuggets knocked off, I think it was Seattle. Like, how could the number 8 beat the number 1?
Like.
In a game 7.
Yeah. So like I stopped gambling on sports 1994 Super Bowl, Pittsburgh versus Dallas. So I had like some hundreds of dollars. I ain't gonna disclose the amount because my wife might be still listening.
uh,
But some hundreds of dollars on Pittsburgh to win. This quarterback throws two interceptions to the same. I mean, this quarterback throws just two interceptions to the same cornerback. Both of them, the preceding season, get these big contracts, and they go away forever. They now commentators on TV shows, sports radio, or anything. You don't never hear from them at all.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
it's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Yeah.
That's
So yeah,
crazy.
that was the incident where I stopped gambling on sports back in 1994. Because of that, I was
Absolutely.
like, man, this is I ain't gambling. If I'm gonna gamble on something, I'll gamble on cards, something where I got a impact on the result. You know what I'm saying? Like I could use my skill level and my talent to win, opposed to putting my money up on somebody else's skill level talent. And how do I know what they're doing? They could be gambling as well, like you said, Porter Jr. This idiot,
Exactly.
he oh, I'm hurt. I can't get back in the game. Oh yeah, okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
appreciate you for stopping through, Maestro, man. Good night to you as well, man. And if you'll be so kind, please subscribe to the channel, man. I appreciate it.
yeah, yeah, definitely on that. The NBA is a way worse product than the NFL. It's crazy what they doing over there. But yeah, like even goes to the point, like I was saying, like Eagles fans, y'all can be lit all y'all want, but you're not. If I ask a rational Eagles fans, do y'all think y'all are 25 points better than the Kansas City Chiefs? Th- Like, come on,
Absolutely
man.
not.
Come on. Like,
There's no
let's be
Eagle
so
fan,
for real. They play that
including the
game
coach, that
five
would have
times.
said they was up. They would have been up 24-0 at one point.
Like, come on. Like, what are we doing? But so I mean, to now dive deeper, like let's take this ship a little bit deeper because it's just like obviously, and I don't know before I came on if you guys were talking about any of the tragedies that happened in Philadelphia with the plane crashes, and I think the
Nah,
other one was coming from Kansas City and things like that too. Do you guys think that there is overall a how would I want to say it? Do y'all think that there's overall certain themes that's built around these football games, like for
hmm
example, the plane crash happening in Philadelphia, and I think they said the other one was coming from Kansas City or going to Kansas City, either the DC one or that Philadelphia plane crash. Do y'all think there's any type of connections or ties to that, or what do you guys think that possibly could be or have to do with it?
me personally, I think that is definitely a possibility. I think I would be ignorant if I said it wasn't a possibility. But to your
Hmm.
point, I think it was kind of ironic and funny to me that they didn't even mention either one of those like during the Super Bowl, but they took time out to talk about the 13, 14 lives that was lost during the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, on January 1st,
Crazy,
when they had to postpone the game, the Sugar Bowl a day,
crazy,
because those people got killed down there. I didn't see
crazy.
them talk about anything about the plane crash just a couple weeks ago, and I rarely hear anything about that story just less than 2 weeks later. And just like
He
you said, to your point, the second one, I don't
he
really
may
hear.
have mentioned it. He may have mentioned it towards the end, like giving acknowledgement. He did, it wasn't a picture or a video or anything, but
Okay,
he verbalized it.
who Kurt Menefee or somebody from Fox?
Whoever was doing the speech.
Okay,
Mm.
Well,
okay, okay.
like I said, it was no pictures or anything, but he did verbalize the other recent tragedies recently.
You talking about after y'all got the trophy? You talking
Uh,
about who
I
said that?
don't know.
Like a
I
senator,
can't
somebody?
remember. To be honest with you, I don't remember. Remember they had the pictures of the people in New Orleans. I don't know if that was halftime, if that
Now
was
that was at the
before.
beginning. That's how they opened the show up. Because one of the
Yeah, but
brothers,
didn't he in the beginning? Didn't he mention to? I thought he did. I could have. I
I
could
didn't
be.
remember them mentioning anything about Philly. They, like you said, they possibly could have, but I didn't
I'm
hear
gonna
it.
go back and look at it. It's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but or, like with that, they in New Orleans and all of that, right? And that was a security failure.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Those like the things, the roadblock things that stop vehicles from doing that, were in disrepair for like several years and recommended to be repaired. That was just being lax. Like, you know
Hmm.
what? It's when somebody, I don't, I kind of be on the conspiracy theory stuff too, right?
Hmm.
But then I'd be trying not to also go down that goddamn rabbit hole either, though.
Right.
Right? You go down the rabbit hole, man. You might, you can find some little rabbits down there.
Yeah.
It'll be 5 hours
Yeah.
later.
Like,
Yeah.
so, like, I'm just trying. I'm already in too many damn rabbit holes as it is. I ain't trying to go down another one though,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
But whenever people are given an opportunity, it's the reason why I want to bring this up,
Mm-hmm.
to cause harm and damage. When we are lax, they take it. You know, whether you believe 9/11 was real or not, somebody was lax and they took advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this dude fires people in the high ranking in the FAA, right? As soon as he gets into office, because
Yeah.
he's cutting all of these, cutting all of this money, this government waste, right?
And then
But
that
this
happened.
what the waste is for a reason, exactly.
Mhm.
This dude is firing spies, FBI agents, CIA agents, and all of this and all of that. Any and everybody that investigated the January 6th incident are all getting cut, right? That's
And don't forget the,
weakening.
air traffic control people.
Yeah, that's weakening our infrastructure, our country. Yo, it could be something. We could be in a season of 24 right here, where this Joker could be a operative for Russia.
You better believe it.
No,
Nah,
he's weakening our country. Everybody saw Elon Musk do the Hitler salute.
yeah,
Elon
yeah.
Musk loves
That was
him.
weird. That was weird.
Elon Musk tweeted, "I love Trump as much as a straight man can love another man." Like, that's real weird, bro. Like, okay, how long you known him and you love him like that?
Especially when you talking against the gays.
Yeah. So it's like, I really feel like on the whole rabbit hole thing and conspiracy and tragedies that are recently happening, yo, we really living in reality TV. Maybe Russia and whoever else is watching us laughing
Yeah.
that the American people are allowing this fool to run roughshod, release these criminals who attacked police. Like, one of them got murdered the day after he got released, getting into an incident. You know, he releasing these violent rioters back into society. I'm in DC. So when they was like gathering up Duck Dynasty looking asses, yo, they scary. I think I'm tough. I can hold my own in a situation, and I might have something to stick your ass, right? But I walked across the street when I saw them, bro. For real. Them white people are scary. They are they have the same mentality as the oppressors
Mm-hmm.
and the atrocities that they committed against slaves, and they want to continue to do such things. That's why we have incidents where these police a lot of times kill young black men. It's not because it was an accident, it's because of what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm.
you gotta understand that they are now in the government, like just like all the rioters. So many of them were police, politicians, and things of that sort. Like,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of what Kendrick was trying to say, like you said, the warning, we're going in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of black people are being tricked into this effery.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of black people, several of my friends told me, I don't gonna even point them out. I don't want to say their name because it's embarrassing. Told me they was voting for this fool because of the whole money situation. I
Yeah.
feel like this is all set up, man. Like, we
It's
straight
all
in
a
the
game, bro.
matrix. We all
Yep.
in the matrix. Kendrick was trying to give us the blue pill here, though.
Mm-hmm.
Wake your ass up, bruh.
Or the
Like,
red pill.
The
yeah,
red,
we
yeah,
gotta we
red.
gotta get up out of there because we not doing what we supposed to be doing as a people to improve our situation.
And
Yeah.
Thomas said the cops killed old boy, Ty.
Oh, the
But
cops killed him.
yeah, but you know me, man. Matrix is like one of my all time favorite movies. Talking
Yeah.
about subliminals and messages, because I always tell people it's by far the most spiritual movie ever made, because that's what it really comes down to. Whether you're talking about Christianity, whether you're talking about Islam, whatever it is that you believe in, we're all living in this sequence, right? We're all in this maze, and we have to find a way to get out, because so many people, I don't even think that is a fact. And the reason why I like the Matrix so much, because I think it's a lot like that there too. My boy, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but the one he been like, man, I've been in this reality too long, man. I want to go back to being stupid and not knowing what's actual
Yeah.
reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if all I gotta do is set Neo the one up for me to get back and just go back into the Matrix, that's what I'm
Yeah.
willing to do because I can't handle the truth. I think a lot of people choose to keep the blinders on and
Yep.
don't want to deal with reality because they know they scared of the real truth. Like
Word is
I
born.
got this one picture that I'm gonna post because I've been posting something different for every day during Black History Month. But it's a picture of the girl, I think it's Ruby Bridges, when she's like 6 years old walking into the school for the first time.
Oh
And
yeah.
the captain said something to the effect of like, if she could go through having to live it, your kids can handle learning about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And,
yes.
and the point is, like, y'all want to keep rewriting history. You see what I'm saying? And don't want to talk about slavery and don't want to talk about all these different things here. Oh, black people, they always want to bring the race card into it. That's because as American citizens, race is a part of everything. It's a part of our society. It's a part of our structure, the way that we was brought up and the way we was raised until we come out the matrix.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like that part be really killing me. Thomas said the Obamas put out a movie warning us about that about to happen.
Yeah. He did. He did. He did.
And before we get out of here, man, another thing I wanted to point out too, when you go back and watch it, like it was very strategic how, again, Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam, representing the man, the government. You see what I'm saying? Uncle Sam, taxes, and all this here. It was very strategic of how he would say what he would say when he would say it, in correlation with the songs that Kendrick was actually talking about. Because right before he did the They Not Like Us, and the one before that, They Not Like Us, he said it. Because even the dancers, they were like, "Are you gonna do it?" Because he kept, if you notice it, he kept
Yeah, I remember
teasing,
that.
"They Not Like Us." He's like,
Yeah.
Nah, I gotta stretch. Like, even that was a message. Like, trust me, I'm gonna get my point across, but I'm gonna do it my way. That was another good takeaway for it from me. And then when Sam say that before that did, right before he goes to the set and before Serena come out and all that did, if you notice, it went to like, because the whole board was like a game. And I never watched this show before. And I might go back and take a look at it. I don't know. But everybody was saying that Squid Games was something like that there, or based off this game where people are fighting for survival and all this kind of craziness or whatever the case may be. So I was like, they were saying that was a correlation between that too. But I wrote it down because this is what Sam say when they cut to that new set. When you go from dudes with the all white and you see the street light pole, and there's a dude sitting up on top of the light pole. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? So when it goes into that, Samuel, it cuts to Samuel, and Samuel say, No, you can't do this here. You too loud. You know, don't be too loud. Don't be too I can't even read my writing. Oh, don't be too loud, don't be too reckless, and don't be too ghetto. And it's actually showing like the corner of a hood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that.
I think I've seen that.
It looked like the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why would you tell an artist not to be too loud? This is the halftime show, the biggest stage in the country.
Yeah.
When they had told Garth Brooks not to be too loud. When they had told Celine Dion not to be too loud. You know what I'm saying? So it was more or less, look here, nigga, stay in your place. Don't make us have to. You'll be sitting right there with that boy Diddy. You'll be
Real rap.
with Combs if you don't act right. You know what I'm saying? So it was so many different levels, man. What's good, Pat? Pat said interesting. 47 was there to hear Kendrick putting people on game that don't know, even though they didn't get it. And that's the whole point that I was making. I think Kendrick was strategic in doing that with the president, because if you notice it, they kept in the beginning of the game, they kept showing Donald Trump. But then after the halftime show went off, They never showed him leaving, but everybody kept talking about how he had to left the show. He left the game during the performance. So that's another reason why I'm praying for Kendrick even more. Because Donald Trump might have actually been one of the ones that it didn't go over his head and got the message to say, oh, no, this fool didn't. I know he ain't stepping out on Massa like that. Oh, we about to plan something for him. So I'm really praying for Kendrick when it comes to that day, because y'all showing him every other time, every, cutaways in the beginning of the game, him in the stands, him doing the salute and all that did. Why y'all ain't show him leaving?
Yeah.
And why he chose to leave doing Kendrick with all Kendrick was doing.
Right.
I don't think that was coincident or happenstance. I think that was real strategic and intentional. But I promise you, man, I'm telling you, if you go back and watch it over and over again, I promise you, you're going to keep finding new different things. And I was mad I didn't have the time, because for everybody that's saying they can't understand what he was saying, I wanted to, and I might do another show this weekend. You know what I mean? Now that football is over, we got time. Right. I was going to go, I wanted to do a show where I got to find out how to do it, but I want to be able to have it on the screen with us where we could pause it and break it down as we go along. Because I could tell you the words that he was saying. Because he talks about in the beginning, when he first started talking, in the very beginning, he started talking, he's saying something about the simulation isn't for us. He started talking about assimilation at the very beginning. So it goes back and again to trying to get people, yo, wake up, yo. This is all a game. So we get to dictate whether we're going to play the game the way it's supposed to be played, we're going to rewrite our rules, or we're going to participate at all. Or you know what? As American citizens, we could throw away our PS5 and go get a Game Boy or Xbox or whatever the case may be. We could just go straight online. We ain't got to play with a PS5. Just because you telling us that's the game system that we got to use. You see what I'm saying? So, there's so many different caveats to me that I think is real profound and very possible. I'm not sure of all of them, but I think it's definitely possible, man. So did y'all have what y'all had before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man. That was my biggest takeaways from the game. Like I said, I wasn't too fond of the Serena thing. But I guess, I wasn't aware that, that's something that she does in her other matches and things like that on other stages and platforms. I just thought it was a little bit petty, and being petty while you're married is kind of defeating of the purpose. Also, she's married to a white man, quote unquote. Not that for me personally, not that means anything to me, but I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh yeah, well, I mean, the whole message of Kendrick Lamar, they not like us, is like the other races, and saying us, we the people for the people. But you have Serena here, who's married to a white man and crip walking and doing this, that, and the third, throwing shots at Drake. It's something to me. Overall, I thought it was petty, but that was one of the bigger takeaways from the game. The game was bad if unless you were Eagles fan. Shout out to y'all again. Congrats to y'all. I got a homie that's a diehard Eagles fan. He was lit. But yeah, shout out to the Eagles. From a sports perspective, uh, do y'all think that this is the beginning of a potential dynasty for the Eagles, or
Absolutely not.
whoa?
Says
You
a
don't think you
Giants
don't think
fan.
Absolutely
you
not.
don't think they could go back to back?
No,
Saquon.
man.
Saquon.
They better be happy they got the one they got.
Hey,
Saquon. Look here. This is about to be we about to put maybe 3, 4, 5 of them on though.
I don't know. I
Saquon.
would, and I can't. I hate to admit it, and I can't stand them. But I got Kansas City going back and winning it next year. That's part of the
Man,
stimulation, yo. Listen.
man.
They're in a position where, oh yeah, we could get into that too real quick before we get up out of here, right? Oh, but last thing on Kendrick, right? So then, because everybody's seen that, everybody's want to talk about that. But like I said, you ain't catch the game. The game starts here with the arrow, but you did notice at the end it said game over. So the overall message was like, yo, stop drinking the Kool-Aid, yo. Stop believing everything they tell you, bro. Like, it's all a game at the end of the day.
Yep.
You got to remember that what the league tell them a couple of years ago, LeBron and them. When LeBron, Melo, Chris Paul and them tried to D Wade, they used the award show to use their platform to speak out against racism and the stuff that was going on. What they tell them? What the league tell them? Shut up and dribble.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up and dribble.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, we ain't got to shut up and dribble no more. Jokers is like, yo, Jokers is willing to stand up and thank God. And whether you agree with him or not, I'm just glad that we living in a climax where you got somebody like Kendrick that, like I said, I take my hat off to him. Not as a rapper, but as a man that's willing to say, you know what? I don't care what the system. You can't tell me how to live. You can't tell me how to dress. You can't tell me what I can say and what I can't say. I'm gonna be a man, and I'm willing to die for what I believe in, because that should be the American way.
Mm-hmm.
It don't mean that. One thing I was having a conversation with this white person that I know. I think we close enough to consider them a friend. But we was talking about how they don't want you to know the truth and racism and things of that nature there. And I was trying to tell him, I said, you know, the biggest fear that I believe that white people have, whether they want to admit it or not, is white people, for the most part, I would say, now you got some idiots. You got some idiots on the black side too. But for overall, I would think that is a lot more of them than that are for us, that's not against us, that say, you know what, racism was a bad thing, but the thing that they fear the most is if they taught what's true and what's real and what really happened when we talk about slavery and lynching and all these different things that happen in the black community, is like we gonna revolt, like us, the byproducts of it, we're gonna revolt and rise up against them, and they're scared of that possibility. Like, but yo, no, it's not to say that we gonna revolt or we gonna bear our guns and start shoot y'all or do the same thing to y'all that y'all did to our ancestors. But you could at least acknowledge the fact that you feel my pain, or that you have empathy by the struggle of our ancestors. Because I was talking about it on the show last week. You know, one thing that a lot of them don't really understand and totally get is, yeah, you're not racist, but you benefit from the racism that your great-great-grandfather did. That's how you got the land that you live on. That's how you got the business that's handed down from generation, because your great-great-grandfather was a slave owner. You know what I'm saying? So we can't ignore that fact. And I'm not going to hold you to that same standard. I just want to educate you so you understand why people might seem a little testy at times. And we by far should have. We have the right to. Because that Constitution that everybody want to talk about is not for us. Because in that same Constitution that people want to talk about, this American docket, it tells you that a black person is considered 3/5 of a man, 3/5 of a human being.
Yep.
How the hell can you be 3/5 of a human being? Like, come on, man. So that American dream is not, it doesn't apply to us. When they wrote those documents and when they wrote the Declaration of Independence, we wasn't included in that.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? So let's start there. Like, it's just so many things. It's so much you can say about that, man. But I was gonna say we could close out with because again, back to the race thing, you explained to me how, and me and my brothers were talking about this earlier. Shout out to my brother. Thomas said KC is the new Patriots and Patrick Mahomes is the new Tom Brady. Dude, that's what I'm trying to say, Tom. That's the point that I was going before I got sidetracked. The reason I got Kansas City going back is because, and that's why I thought about we could talk about this, is think about this. When we talk about imagery, we talk about visuals with the Kendrick thing. Everything is about image. Patrick Mahomes is black, right? But he's not your typical black cat. You know what I'm saying? Now, they want to see him. Okay, he's worthy in their eyes enough. He's worthy to take on the mantle of a Tom Brady. Now, explain this to me. If everything is about sports and everything is, we dealing with integrity and everything is real, right? How in the world can Lamar Jackson win AP first team all first team, all first team quarterback, but don't win the MVP.
Right. Right.
But could it have anything to do with the fact that he talked like he talked, and you need subtitles to understand him? He just a poor kid from Florida that wear grills.
I don't think I don't think we could go there because he already has two. So it's like if that was the narrative in the case, they wouldn't have gave him any, let alone two. But I definitely do think it possibly could be a factor in terms of why he didn't win it. He should have won it. There's no either him or at least Mahomes, if you don't like him, or Burrow. Like I mean, whatever the case is. But Allen, like that was just a sympathy award or whatever the case is because
Exactly.
he outdid everyone's expectations with the roster that he had. So
And hey, let me school you to sometimes. Like I mean, not Thomas Prince, like I always do. That's why I always like you because I like
yeah,
you shoot it straight from where you at. But you
yeah,
said what you said was totally false, right? Because
mhm,
it will be an uproar if they didn't let him win any. That's the
yeah,
whole point. It's
yeah,
just like we talk about with the gambling. We gotta let him win something, but we can't let him win it all. If you
mhm,
go back to the Seattle when Seattle won their Super Bowl, right? They
mhm,
made sure that they kept publicizing who Russell Wilson because they okay with that. They did not want Marshawn Lynch to be the face of Seattle
Not at all.
because he's a nigga. He led the league in rushing that year. He led the league in rushing. How you gonna go inside the 3-yard line and don't get this man the ball? The league leader rusher because
yeah,
we can't have him representing our league. Not him.
absolutely.
It could
No,
be one of them, but not one like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
no facts. They don't like it.
That's what Pat said the same thing. They don't like his grills. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to tell you.
yeah,
Lamar
definitely.
Jackson, and not to mention, this Negro had the nerve to put up a fight and then go and get $230 million with his mama as his agent.
Exactly.
You gonna block us out of that money that we usually get too?
Exactly.
Come on, man. They don't like that.
Not at all. Not at all.
They don't like that. Lamar doesn't fit the image where Mahomes gets the pass. That's what I'm saying. It's all about imagery. It's like with photography. It's all about the lighting in the background and all of that. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just a picture. They take these pictures in sets and make sure that the lighting is right and that you got the right chairs and you got the right colors for the message that they want to portray in this picture without actually saying something. You see what I'm saying? So with the NFL as a brand, you know what I mean? That's the whole thing right there.
Yeah.
Lamar don't fit the optics that they want to push. Because like you said, and that's the point that my brother made earlier when we were talking about that whole argument, like how it's a disgrace that Lamar get first all team and doesn't win the MVP. But even if they didn't give it to Lamar, you had Saquon out there, you had Joe Burrows out there.
Right.
It could have been, and I ain't got nothing against Josh. Josh is my favorite player in the AFC. That's been my sleeper team for a while now with Buffalo because I just like Josh Allen. I like his game. I always like this game. But the numbers don't lie. Joe Burrows had a crazy year compared to what Josh Allen had. And y'all gonna act like we didn't see what we saw?
Exactly.
Like, because y'all tired of Josh Allen not winning nothing? The new golden boy of the era? Because even Joe Burrows, how you gonna win? How they gonna get him the MVP, the comeback NFL player of the year? Like, come on, man. That was a slap in the face. That one hurt like that. The numbers that he had, they knew they had to give him something. But if you look at it, Joe Burrow might be, yeah, you white, but you got a little bit too much soul to you.
Right.
Because Joe Burrow ain't that. He
Right.
ain't the typical white boy. You know what I mean?
Right.
They might be in the show next year though.
It could be.
They play their cards right. Do what they supposed to do.
I know they better give Jamar Chase his money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He ain't
Yeah,
put
they
up no
messed
fight.
up.
He went
They
out there and balled and still led the league in almost all his categories. So what's your excuse now?
Yeah, they messed up. They should have just paid him what he was asking or what he
Yeah,
was
because now you
worth.
got to come out your pockets even more.
Yeah, now they and he had a crazy year. Like
That's what I'm saying. Now what's gonna be your excuse?
that was a crazy year. Yeah, though. But yeah, I mean, back to so yeah, I mean, I don't know how much longer you want to go, Marvin, but so how about everybody give a prediction of who they think gonna be in the big show next year? Starting with me, I think. Well, I mean, I hope. I want to see Lamar there, and I want to see, and I think we're gonna see D. I want to say Detroit, but I might be leaning towards. No, I'll go with Detroit. I think Baltimore, Detroit. I think they was the two best teams, to one of the two best teams to me this year. But obviously, they did what they did. But I go Baltimore, Detroit next year.
Who you got, Ty? You got y'all repeating?
I got Philly going back to back because remember we talked about the whole money aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a Philadelphian.
Uh,
Everybody in the city of Philadelphia is outside spending money right now. Look how many people from Philadelphia, airplane loads of Philadelphia Eagles fans taking flights that would not have been taken had it been Detroit, Green Bay, Los Angeles Rams.
mm,
My sleeper for the NFC in the event that the Eagles don't make it is the only other team that brought all the excitement to the league this year, or at least in the NFC, which is the Washington Redskins. That boy, now I'm in DC.
mm,
DC they went on that 6-7 game win streak, whatever it was.
mm,
You know how much money that produced for the city of Washington, DC? You know what I'm
man.
saying? At the end of the day, it's about these dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit
Yeah.
ain't gonna never go to the Super Bowl.
Ah.
This is why Washington destroyed them. Like they didn't even get the opportunity to play Philadelphia. You know what
So
I'm saying?
what they built that new stadium for?
Well, I don't know, but they ever been to the Super Bowl?
I
To
don't think
Detroit?
so.
Yeah.
Never.
So that's what I'm saying.
Said never.
I'm not gonna work off of what history and what is already been told us is gonna do.
Yeah.
And in the AFC, I'm gonna tell you what, I feel like, hey, look, Kansas City's great. What you call it? I believe it's either gonna be Buffalo or Cincinnati. Both of them are. Just think of how many times Buffalo and Cincinnati have been to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Several
Mm,
times.
yeah.
Both teams. Buffalo in the early was it 90s went 4 times in a row. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
Places where the money is going to conglomerate, like Cincinnati, Ohio is a big place. For whatever reason, I don't know what's up in Buffalo, New York, but what is it now? They probably been at least 7 Super Bowls, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
They
I'm saying.
went to one in the 80s. They went to the 4 in a row and
Yeah, so
lost,
they won.
lost to the NFC all 4 years, I might add. But
Yeah,
I always do get there to get them credit. Like to go to 4 consecutive Super Bowls is crazy. I don't care if you lost all of them. That's
but
like
losing that
insane to me.
losing that first one to the Giants is what derailed everything.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all running that ball with OJ Anderson. I'll never forget that because to me,
Top Pro will make
The
the Super
Giants
Bowl.
got some of the best Super Bowl victories ever, beating that high-powered Buffalo team and beating those two New England teams were
Especially
Hmm.
so
the undefeated one.
improbable.
Especially the undefeated one.
Man,
Yeah.
it was so improbable if you had your money on New York opposed to New England or Buffalo in those Super Bowl games. So just think about the money aspect of it. Like you said, if New England would have won, how many people they would have had to pay? Everybody was riding New England. They were undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
And here come these upstart giants.
Mm-hmm.
And, I do believe a certain amount of it is, staged and set up. But
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that a lot of times, especially in football, players buck the system and say, F that, I'm going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can see
And
that.
Yeah.
I believe that the year that the Giants beat the undefeated New England team was one of those
Mm-hmm.
such teams.
Mm.
I don't believe it was stage set up for them to beat New England. I think they beat New England,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because the referees tried to give New England that game. They give Brady all the calls, but beating them, I feel like that was the New York Giants players, the defense specifically, saying "F you guys."
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go out there and we're gonna beat them because we know we can.
I hear you, and I agree with you to a certain extent. But I also look at, like I said, because I've been like this so long since the '90s, actually just struggling with the integrity of sports. Period. Like I also seen the movie, the Hollywood of it all too, because if you go back and look that year, not only was New England undefeated up until that point, also we was the only we got to remember we was a 6th seed that year. We was a low seed that year that made the
Mm.
playoffs, and everybody that we beat in the playoffs, we lost to them in the regular season.
Mm.
No
Mm.
Green
doubt.
Bay, Atlanta, everybody we lost to in the regular season, we beat in the playoffs as the lowest seed
Yeah.
and upset them. So I don't know, but to answer your question, Prince,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for me. Like I said, I think it depends on if it's the storybook, if it's the gambling factor, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
I got Kansas City because, like I said, they're gonna make sure that Patrick Mahomes gets somewhere close to Brady, as
Yeah.
far as overall championships. But if it's
Mm-hmm.
straight pure football, what I would love to see just as a football guy, and this is strictly AFC, is like Ty said, I would love to see Cincinnati and Buffalo. I would love to see them play in the AFC Championship. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I would like. That would be the reward for us as fans, to me, in my personal opinion. Now, to answer your
Mm-hmm.
question, what you have brought up too, Ty, what's in Buffalo? The same thing that you just said about Philly. I was in. I went to. I went to Nashville, bringing 46, and I went to me and my brother. We downtown Nashville, bro, because my birthday was that Sunday, and the Monday night game was that Monday, right? No, matter of fact, my birthday was that Monday, the 18th, that
Yeah.
Monday. So the game was going on that night. So we go downtown, bro. Listen, every night we going downtown Nashville. Oh, if you just looked at the scenery, you would have never known that we was in Tennessee, bro. We literally like in eyesight. I'm literally looking at we 3 blocks away from the stadium that the Titans play in. All
Yeah.
you see is Buffalo get everywhere. And they was down there for the whole week, bro. The mugs traveled. Buffalo spent
Okay.
money. They
Okay.
spent money. I mean, they took over the whole city of Nashville, bro.
Man.
Like I
Okay.
said, we was down there for the whole week, bro. We go out Wednesday night, all you see is Buffalo jerseys. You out Thursday night, Buffalo jerseys. Game ain't the Monday, bro. So they're not
All
leaving
right.
right after the game, so they ain't leave out the Tuesday, Wednesday. They out there for a whole week, bro.
Spending that bread.
Winning that money. So like I said, with so much money and being involved, I just question the
Mm-hmm.
integrity of sports. Again,
Yeah.
when it comes to the NFC, I can see kind of Philly getting back again. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
they might be playing the game too. Like, okay, y'all ain't really bucking no system. Saquon, he's a hell of a guy. He has a white wife and little white kids, and he speaks proper. He's not
Yep.
one of those. You know what I mean? He's no Marshawn Lynch. We don't have to worry about him acting
Mm-hmm.
out too much. So he might fit the protocol for them to push that through.
Yeah.
But I also agree with you, Ty, that if it's just straight football, yo, man, And I know that's why I'm ready for the season to start again already. I know it just ended yesterday.
Uh,
And I'm ready for the season to start again because everybody already know about how it is with being a rookie quarterback. I am dying and waiting to see. I wish the season started next week so I can see how these people are on game plan for Jaden Daniels in year 2 if they figure them out. Because if he has another year like the one that he just had this rookie year, that boy is going to be a problem in the future.
He'll be a problem next year.
He's going to be a problem in the future, bro.
Yeah.
So
do y'all see a
I
sophomore
hate that
slump in him or no?
huh?
Do y'all see a sophomore slump in him or no? Like what CJ just
I
went
don't
through?
think so, bro.
No, I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so
so.
either.
He really gets it.
He's the real deal.
I was watching this thing on him when they was out there for the Super Bowl, right? So the lady, she was showing them, you know how you got like the silhouettes? You know,
Yeah.
silhouettes like the black screen with the white body. And
Mhm.
they showing different plays, but all you see is the quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Almost like a cartoon stickman type thing.
Uh-huh.
They showing quarterbacks with it. You can't see what it is, it's just black and white. He's looking at every motion. She gave him 10 of them. This mug was 10 out of the 10 to tell you which quarterbacks it was, because that's how much film he studies.
Man.
He got every last one of them right. Oh no, that's
Wow.
Lamar Jackson right there. Oh, left-handed, boom. Do it to the backside. They showed you the picture. Is Lamar. Oh, that's James Winston right there. Oh, that's Tom Brady right there. He don't even play no more.
Man.
This dude studied the film, bro. He got 10 out of 10 right.
Yeah, that's
Man.
something else.
He is
Man.
different. So I would hate to, like I said, I would never dare, you know how it is, rooting for another division rival. But I know I can tell you who it won't be. It won't be. It damn sure won't be my Giants.
Oh, yeah, no. You better
Nor do
hope for
we
Shador.
deserve to win a Super Bowl as stupid as we are in that front office, man.
You better
Yeah,
hope for Shador, man.
Saquon curse.
I don't care whether it's Shador. I don't care whether it's silly man. I like him. I ain't even gonna call him silly. That man he can be with whoever he want to be with. But
Who you
or
talking
Cam
about,
Newton.
Travis?
Yeah. I don't care whether it's none of the three of them. Ain't none of those three gonna bring the Giants no championship. For the simple fact is, we got the same problem that we done had the last 20 years. We
What's
won't build
that?
the offensive line.
Oh,
You talked about it that year, the year that we beat when we won the last Super Bowl in 11. So if you go back and look at those stats, we was last in the entire league in rushing.
Damn.
Like we won't ever since we had that early 2000 run where we lost to the Ravens, we never revamped our line. And that's why Saquon stayed hurt, because we won't invest in our line. Our line is trash. So until they figure out how to get the right lineman in there, we're not doing nothing, man.
But do you only do that when you have a decent enough quarterback though? I think like me personally, like whoever signed Daniel Jones to that contract, I think needs to be banned for life. But even upon
1,000%.
because it's just like upon signing him, you're looking at this guy, and it's like he's not a quarterback where you can say confidently say, okay, if I just get him a line, he's gonna be good. No, he's bad regardless, with the best line, with the worst line. So I think if you guys actually bring a QB in, draft a QB or whatever the case is, then it's just like, okay, you kind of go with the Carolina approach to where they brought Bryce Young in, and then the very next year, what they do, they invested in the line, they invested in weapons. Y'all already got some nice talent. Not only neighbors, y'all got another little short light skinned dude wide receiver who super nice too.
Yes,
So
please.
it's like,
I
yeah,
would
like
agree with that if it hadn't been going on so long. Like, why can't we figure out this line situation?
that
Because
defense isn't horrible neither. I don't think.
we could be better. We could be better. We got pieces. We're
Yeah,
not good, but we got pieces. But it all starts. I tell people all the time, man. I've been around football and love football enough to know it's about the game is won in the trenches. You got
yeah,
to build the line, bro. Like I
yeah.
kept trying to tell people, oh man, Eli was washed up. Y'all kept Eli too long. No, we didn't. If you had to put Tom Brady behind that same trash line, Tom Brady wouldn't have been Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Eli was staying on his back. Same thing with Daniel Jones. Like, and first, like to your point, Daniel Jones should have never been in the league. Nobody
Absolutely.
goes to Duke to get a NFL quarterback. You go to Duke to get a point guard. Nobody goes to Duke to get a football player, bruh.
Yeah.
And
Y'all chose
even when
Daniel
we
Jones over
drafted everybody in
Saquon.
the combine, even in every front organization, when you go back and look at the tape, they're like, who? Like, who is this dude? And you take it with the 6th pick, somebody that nobody has ever heard of, that's on nobody radar. Come on, man. You should have been
Nah,
fired immediately.
forget it. But why do y'all? Why did y'all sign him for that big of a contract? Like a damn near record-breaking
He's an
contract for that much
idiot.
years.
Gettleman is it, not Gettleman, the new dude, Strong. He's a freaking idiot.
You know
That
what? I heard about the New York. So I got a friend who used to be a New York Giants fan, and he jumped ship because he's like, how come New York refuses to draft a black quarterback?
mm,
We've never had a black
mm,
quarterback. The only black quarterback we've had that really counted was Geno Smith.
or Tyrod Taylor.
That's recent. That's more recent. But Geno Smith, and the only reason that people remember Geno Smith as a Giant because they did Eli dirty because Eli was on pace to break the all-time consecutive starts record of all time. 208 games. Like, he never missed a game. Eli pretty much never missed a game his whole career. Right? That's
Yeah,
crazy. You think about a quarterback.
with that offensive line too.
But then they benched him 1 week to start Geno Smith, and the very next week they brought Eli back in.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
That's
I was
crazy.
like, yo, these are a bunch of idiots, yo. A straight bunch of idiots. So you got to figure that out. But also, it's just so much in the front office, man. To your point, Ty, like I remember I used to love watching Hard Knock, and I remember watching it this year. Dude, I made it through, I think, the first 13, 14 minutes of the very first episode because they're showing the Giants. That's why I wanted to watch it. Oh, we finally get a turn on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
This mug is sitting in the office with his 3 kids, 2 little girls and a boy. Oldest one might be like 14, 11, or 9. So who should daddy sign? The little girl, like, oh, I like Daniel Jones. He's cute. None of them say Saquon Barkley, right?
Yeah.
They fast forward to them being at the combine. Can't think of who it was now. Oh, Frank Gore. Remember Frank Gore? He's played for San Fran.
Yeah.
Frank Gore's out there with the scouts. So he's like, yo, so what y'all think y'all gonna do with Saquon? Dude, he don't realize that the dude that he talking to mic'd up. Oh, we willing to entertain some thoughts, some ideas. We willing to hear somebody if the price is right, things of that nature. And to your point, Prince, how can you honestly justify giving Daniel Jones $160 million, but you tripping off of giving not just Saquon, he's the face of your franchise. All Saquon was asking for was $13 million.
Yep.
And we asked him, we tried to lowball him with $11 million. So it ain't about having the money, but because you gave Daniel Jones $160 million.
Yep.
That's gotta be racist.
Like, come on, bro. And then not only do you let him go, and then there's another scene that I seen later, because like I said, I couldn't even watch it no more. I ain't watching the show for the rest of the season. But I seen a snippet on TikTok after y'all had got him, where Jim Mara, the owner, he walks in Dave Strong when I'm talking about office and say, listen, man, I really don't want to see Saquon go. He's like, and he literally says this. This is before the season even starts. If he does go anywhere, we definitely need to make sure that he doesn't go to Philadelphia.
Yeah,
That's what the
nah.
owner say. I promise you, Ty, when I find it, I'm gonna
No,
send it to you.
I saw that. I saw it.
How is the owner going to tell you to
I
make sure
saw
that
it.
this does not happen? You make sure that happen and you still keep your job? Make it make sense.
It don't.
Make it make sense.
He got a backyard boogie deal from something we don't know about.
Like I
Nah,
tell people all the
seriously.
time, even if you want to be just like a straight football standpoint, and we're gonna get out of here because I know people probably tired of hearing us talk. Uh, but I want to thank all y'all for tuning in. To thank y'all for being on here too, man. But
Mm-hmm.
listen, man, when it comes to Saquon, it's like, dude, this mug is again, he's a franchise league. He first of all, he got hurt because y'all tried to rush him back. You know what I mean? Because he tried to show y'all how committed he was to the team, right? But if you're gonna let him go, you definitely don't let him go to a division rival, right? Now, as
Yeah.
much as Saquon didn't want to do it, and as much as I'm against it, from a business standpoint, I don't care whether you don't like me. Worst case scenario, you could have franchised Saquon for another year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of giving him the long-term deal that he wanted, he wouldn't have been happy about it. But Saquon would have still played ball, just like Jamar Chase did.
Yep.
Then now you got a whole nother season before you got to have that conversation on whether or not you're gonna give him that money. But now, since you jumped the gun and didn't pull that move, now do you only not look stupid for letting them go to Philly? Now y'all win the Super Bowl, but also how you gonna justify you didn't give him the money because you wanted to get Daniel Jones and you cut him before the season even over?
Yep.
That's just poor business,
Bad
poor
business.
management all the way around.
Real bad.
So I don't understand how this dude could how they could justify. I'm disappointed as I don't do that jumping shit. Like I'm with you till for life, but I will let you know I ain't rocking with you.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to tell you we're a bunch of idiots, and that's why I was kind of glad for Saquon and things to play out the way they did because I keep telling everybody, just for the people that just talking as far as talking points and don't really know football. Yeah, y'all keep saying, "Oh man, y'all was stupid for letting Saquon go." Man, look at the year he had. Okay, you're showing how stupid you are and that you don't really know football because we are stupid for letting Saquon go, but not for that reason. Because if Saquon had to stay with the Giants, I guarantee you he wouldn't have been in the conversation for the most breaking that record or having as much yards as he did. Because why? He was able to produce that much more because he played behind a great line in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Saquon might not even made it through the whole season. I don't think Saquon had a whole full season outside of his rookie year with us because he stayed hurt.
Yep.
Because they couldn't block for him. Now he go to Philly, leading the league and getting all kind of yards.
Yep.
Because of that, again, back to my point earlier, because of that line play. So your line is very crucial. You need other pieces too, but the battle to get the game of football is won in the trenches.
Most
That
definitely.
offensive line and that defensive line. And then we can figure everything else out. So I swear to God, I wish they would call me to offer me any kind of job. Because I swear the people that they're employing don't know what they're doing, yo. I'm available. Hey, coach, put me in.
You ain't got the right. You ain't got the right intent.
And I ain't got the right mentality because I'm going to go in there like Kendrick.
You're talking about the right thing.
They ain't with it. I'm telling you, I don't know if it starts from the top, but somebody signed the check for Daniel Jones.
Exactly.
So
So you
you
can't
know,
get so mad at Sean because, like you say, you the owner, man. All right, I tell you what, hand me that. Hand up, and you hand
yep,
him his walking papers,
yep.
just like
Just
that.
like look, Jerry Jones don't mess around. He
Come on, man.
runs his every owner don't. But you know what though? It just goes to show you. Like so, the Redskins had the bad ownership with Snyder, and they were the laughing stock of the league until he was replaced. It may be the ownership with the Giants right now, as well as the Cowboys, where these teams can't seemingly get out of the basement
Mm-hmm.
because it's been several years now, and the only it's real good. So the NFC East is the only division in football that has all multiple Super Bowl winning teams.
Yeah, Absolutely.
It's not another division in football that has that.
Not one.
Yeah. So the
Maybe
NFC East, I
AFC
think
North
they
has
there
one.
was a post on it. They
Who?
are
Who in the
something like
AFC?
AFC North.
13%.
Who in the AFC North? You got
They,
Philly. I mean, you got Pittsburgh.
and you got Baltimore.
You got
No,
Baltimore.
every team in the division has multiple Super Bowls.
Oh, every.
Yeah.
I thought you said multiple. Oh my
Nah,
fault.
not that. Yeah, they got multiple Super Bowls.
Yeah. Philly,
Oh
New
wow.
York, Dallas, Redskins all got multiple championships now.
Redskins got multiple championships.
Yeah.
They used to be the
Oh,
shit.
Doug Williams won, huh? He
Doug
won one.
Williams and Mark Ripken.
He
Yeah, I
just
don't
told
know
you, Ty, he
who.
only 24-year-old, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, God,
So
yeah,
He ain't
every
been allowed to see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl.
yeah,
yeah. Facts. I don't know nothing about that with them.
the Cowboys at one point were considered or called America's team.
They still are, I guess.
They still
No, I
they
don't think
still
so.
call that. That don't mean that it's true. Again, like I said
Maybe,
earlier,
maybe in Texas.
somebody can
America's
call Donald Trump a good businessman. That don't make it true.
America's team was just recently the Patriots. Currently, it's still Kansas City. You know, so like y'all said, Patrick Mahomes is the product that they want to show. He's in the State Farm commercial. You know what I mean?
And even think about this, Ty. Look where it's at. Middle America.
Missouri. Yeah.
Middle America.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like
We
I
get
can see them.
from all kinds of different directions.
They acting a goddamn fool in Philly, tearing poles down and falling off poles and dying.
That's why
You know,
people don't like y'all, man, because y'all know how to act.
yeah, it might it might be next year. We might get an injury, somebody get hurt, and just derail our whole system again. Like like last year, not having our coordinators, and because we didn't lose any
Yeah.
players. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like players was out because of injury and we tanked. It was the coaching. So something sure went like the scheme broke down.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh, and
know,
think about it like this too. Back to the money and all this stuff being fake. I promise y'all, we're gonna get out of here. But think about this. Go back to last season, right? If it was just about football, they had nothing to do with scripts and playing ball. How could you possibly think that that's true? That is strictly football and the love of the game when the game was being played in Vegas and you had in both championships. Can you imagine how Vegas would have acted or how Vegas would have made sure to do everything in their power to make sure that the Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens, two of the most hoodest cities in the country, are not coming to destroy their city?
yeah, because
Yeah.
Baltimore they looked the same way Kansas City
What?
did last year.
Come on,
They
man. Baltimore and Detroit in Vegas. Oh man, there would have been all kind of gang activity and killers and wild stuff going on. They like, nah, we can't have that, yo. Not them two. Y'all got to pick one or the other. We can't have both of them in here at the same time.
No, sir. No, sir. It's crazy though.
But yeah, man, this was good, man. Hey, Prince, I'm gonna be hitting you up, man. Cause like I said, now I'm gonna still be doing Tuesday night shows, but we're gonna try to get a schedule together where we can start incorporating some sports shows outside of just the regular show, like on the weekends or whatever, where we can talk, basketball and different things of that nature. They're upcoming.
For sure, man.
Combine. Because I was telling somebody the other day, people always hate when I use that analogy that pro sports is like modern day slavery, right? And I keep telling people I'm not saying that it's like modern day slavery. I'm talking about the practice of it. And the reason I say that, what are we just talking about? They're still called owners.
Yep.
I know that they make me. I'm talking about the actual practice, right? You go back and you watch movies like Roots and I forgot the name of the other one. But any movie where you see where they was trading slaves or whatever, what they do? White man come down to the slave market. What do he do? Take the women top off, play with their titties, see how firm they are, what kind of hips she got, because you're testing out to see what kind of baby she gonna have. Then you got them opening their mouth, checking their teeth, making them spread their butt cheeks. Well, what do you think the combine is? Let me see how fast you can run. Let me see how high you can jump, cause I want to see what I'm about to auction off.
Hey, let me throw something in here real quick. I'm just looking at this NFL memes. The Super Bowl lost 1.3 million viewers after Kendrick Lamar finished the halftime show. So a lot of people did get it and was like 47. I'm leaving the building.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. Not to mention that the game was like, for the people that were just watching it for a good game, the game was already kind of like out of whack and kind of trash.
34 nut.
I'm
34
definitely not
nothing.
watching this. But one takeaway that I will say that I mentioned earlier that I did really like was the fact that how many white people I seen online was out there posting like, yo, I seen the message and I got the message, and how much they loved it. I was literally shocked. There was a lot of white people in the different comments and stuff talking about, yeah, it was a powerful message. We need to come together like now before. But we didn't even talk about the fact that this was the first year. It just so happened to coincidentally be the first year that they took in racism out the end zone and changed the slogan to what is it? Love together or come together with love, something like that. Did because I seen it on the back of one of the Kansas City players' helmet, and then even the strategic commercial that they did with Snoop and Tom Brady. Well, I hate you because you this and not. They made sure every time Snoop said he used the word, he could say the word hate, but Tom Brady couldn't say, "Well, I hate you," because you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even that was subliminal and subjective on how you gonna make sure. Well, no, of course the white man ain't never said that we hate you. Black people could say we hate them, but they can't say that. No, that'll be uproar because it's going to affect that dollar. So we gotta do that. We gotta be real clever and strategic about how we gonna word this. So it's a lot of little different caveats, but definitely go back and watch that performance, man. I promise you, the more and more you watch it, it's almost like an album to me, like a song. The more and more you watch it, I think the more and more you'll like it. And the truth, you'll be told, the other reality of it is, guess what? Some people just never gonna get it. Some people gonna walk. It's just like going to an algebra class. You know what I'm saying? If all you know is basic addition, subtraction, you ain't gonna understand what's going on in algebra. You ain't gonna understand what's going on in trigonometry.
Nah.
Because your level of understanding is limited.
In space.
So,
all right, fellas, I gotta eat.
Yeah, same here, man. That's why I'm about to get up out of here too.
For sure, man. I
appreciate
y'all,
man. Like I said, man, I'm gonna reach out to y'all and figure out when we're gonna get this sports thing going on.
All right, cool.
Everybody else, man, y'all tune in tomorrow night. We're gonna be doing our education, continuing Black History Month. Tomorrow we're gonna be talking about education and the effect that it'll have if they actually get this in the motion on defunding or doing away with the Department of Education, how that's going to affect our children and their ability to learn and things of that nature there. And I'm gonna have an all-star cast again with teachers that have been on previously. So y'all tune into that tomorrow night, 8:00, man. But I appreciate y'all time. And as usual, signing off, man. DeAndre and Lights, know that Daddy love you intentionally, but I also love you unconditionally. Till next week. Actually, to tomorrow night. Peace.
Peace.
All right. Peace.
All right, one. Have a good one.